خنده بی مثل او بر دل دکانی هم زده، پنهان کرده در دل و مغز و روانم تو را.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another reading of 1001 Nights. My name is Simran Gerard and I'll be your host this evening. It's a special night. It's our 200th night. And unfortunately, I'm not reading together with Joanna. And this beautiful song you just heard was from our wonderful co-worker Kamyab Saderi, Raft, which means went. I hope you're all doing well. We are, as most of you know, located in Vienna, so we are currently in our second lockdown as of today. Oh, and we're enjoying it so much. All right. We are, at the 200th night, so I hope you're comfortable and enjoy the reading. Now, when it was the 200th night, she said, "It hath reached me, O auspicious king, that when Kamal Zaman, son of King Shahriman, went to the Hammam, his father, in his joy at this event, freed the prisoners and presented splendid dresses to his grandees and bestowed large alms gifts upon the poor and bade decorate the city 7 days. Then quoth Marzavan to Kamar Zaman, "Know, O my lord, that I came not from the Lady Budur save for this purpose, and the object of my journey was to deliver her from her present case. And it remaineth for us only to devise how we may get to her, since thy father cannot brook the thought of parting from thee. So it is my counsel that tomorrow thou ask his leave to go abroad hunting. Then do thou take with thee a pair of saddlebags full of money, and mount a swift steed, and lead a spare horse, and I will do the like, and say to thy sire, I have a mind to divert myself with hunting the desert, and to see the open country, and there to pass 1 night. Suffer not any servant to follow us, for as soon as we reach the open country, we will go our ways." Kamar Zaman rejoiced in this plan with great joy and cried, "It is good." Then he stiffened his back, and, going in to his father, sought his leave and spoke as he had been taught. And the king consented to his going forth a-hunting, and said, "O my son, blessed be the day that restoreth thee to health. I will not gainsay thee in this, but pass not more than 1 night in the desert, and return to me on the morrow. For thou knowest that life is not good to me without thee. And indeed I can hardly believe thee to be wholly recovered from what thou hadst, because thou art to me as he of whom quoth the poet, Help by me, I had through day and night Solomon's carpet and the Chosro's might. Both were in value less than a wing of gnat, unless these eyne could hold the eye in sight. Then the king equipped his son Kamar Zaman and Marzavan for the excursion, bidding make ready for them 4 horses together with a dromedary to carry the money, and a camel to bear the water and belly timber. And Kamar Zaman forbade any of his attendants to follow him. His father farewelled him and passed him to his breast and kissed him, saying, I ask thee in the name of Allah, be not absent from me more than 1 night, wherein sleep will be unlawful to me, for I am even as saith the poet, Thou present, in the heaven of heavens I dwell, bearing thine absence is of hell's my hell. Pledged be for thee my soul, if love for thee be crime, my crime is of the fellest fell. Does love low burn thy heart as burns it mine, doomed night and day Gehenna fire to smell? Answered Kamar Zaman, O my father, Inshallah I will lie abroad but 1 night. Then he took leave of him, and he and Marzavan mounted, and leading the spare horses, the dromedary with the money, and the camel with the water and victual, turned their faces towards the open country. And Shahrazad perceived the dawning day and ceased saying her permitted say. Now when it was the 201st night, she said, It hath reached me, auspicious king, that Kamar al-Zaman and Marzavan fared forth and turned their faces towards the open country, and they travelled from the first of the day till nightfall, when they halted, and ate and drank and fed their beasts and rested a while. After which they again took horse and ceased not journeying for 3 days. And on the 4th they came to a spacious tract wherein was a thicket. They alighted in it, and Marzavan, taking the camel and 1 of the horses, slaughtered them, and cut off their flesh, and stripped their bones. Then he doffed from Kamar Zaman his shirt and trousers, which he smeared with the horse's blood, and he took the prince's coat, which he tore to shreds and befouled with gore. And he cast them down in the fork of the road. Then they ate and drank, and mounting set forward again. And when Kamar Zaman asked why this was done, and said, What is this, O my brother, and how shall it profit us? Marzavan replied, Know that thy father, when we have outstayed the 2nd night after the night for which we had his leave, and yet we return not, will mount and follow in our track till he come hither. And when he happeneth upon this blood which I have spilled, and he seeth thy shirt and trousers rent and gore fouled, he will fancy that some accident befell thee from bandits or wild beasts. So he will give up hope of thee, and return to his city, and by this device we shall win our wishes. Quoth Kamar Zaman, By Allah, this be indeed a rare device. Thou hast done right well. Then the two fared on days and nights, and all that while Kamar Zaman did naught but complain when he found himself alone, and he ceased not weeping till they drew near their journey's end, when he rejoiced and repeated these words. Wilt tyrant play with truest friend, who thinks of thee each hour, and after showing love desire betray indifference? May I forfeit every favour if in love I false thee, if thee I left abandon me by way of recompense. But I've been guilty of no crime such harshness to deserve, and if I aught offended thee I bring my penitence. Of fortune's wonders one it is thou hast abandoned me, but fortune never wearieth of showing wonderments. When he had made an end of his verses, Marzavan said to him, Look, these be King Ghayur's islands, whereat Kamar Zaman joyed with exceeding joy and thanked him for what he had done, and kissed him between the eyes and strained him. And Shahrazad perceived the dawn of day and ceased saying her permitted say. Now when it was the 202nd night, she said, "It hath reached me, auspicious king, that when Marzaban said, 'Look, these be the islands of King Ghayur,' Kamar Zaman joyed with exceeding joy and thanked him for what he had done, and kissed him between the eyes and strained him to his bosom. And after reaching the islands and entering the city, they took up their lodging in a khan, where they rested 3 days from the fatigues of their wayfare. After which Marzaban carried Kamar Zaman to the bath and, clothing him in merchant's gear, provided him with the geomantic tablet of gold, with a set of astrological instruments, and with an astrolabe of silver plated with gold. Then he said to him, 'Arise, O my lord, and take thy stand under the walls of the king's palace and cry out, I am the ready reckoner. I am the scrivener. I am he who weeteth the sword and the seeker. I am the finished man of science. I am the astrologer accomplished in experience. Where then is he that seeketh?' As soon as the king heareth this, he will send after thee and carry thee in to his daughter, the Princess Budur, thy lover. But when about going in to her, do thou say to him, 'Grant me 3 days' delay, and if she recover, give her to me to wife. And if not, deal with me as thou dealtest with those who forewent me.' He will assuredly agree to this, so as soon as thou art alone with her, discover thyself to her. And when she seeth thee, she will recover strength, and her madness will cease from her, and she will be made whole in 1 night. Then do thou give her to eat and drink, and her father, rejoicing in her recovery, will marry thee to her and share his kingdom with thee. For he hath imposed on himself this condition, and so peace be upon thee." Now when Kamar Zaman heard these words, he exclaimed, "May I never lack of benefits," and taking the set of instruments aforesaid, sallied forth from the caravanserai in the dress of his order. He walked on till he stood under the walls of King Ghayur's palace, where he began to cry out, saying, "I am the scribe, I am the ready reckoner, I am he who knoweth the sword and the seeker, I am he who openeth the volume and summeth up the sums, who dreams can expound whereby the sword is found. Where then is the seeker?" Now when the city people heard this, they flocked to him, for it was long since they had seen scribe or astrologer, and they stood round him, and looking upon him, they saw one in the prime of beauty and grace and perfect elegance, and they marvelled at his loveliness and his fine stature and symmetry. Presently one of them accosted him and said, "Allah upon thee, O thou fair and young, with the eloquent tongue! Incur not this affray, nor throw thy life away in thine ambition to marry the Princess Budur. Only cast thine eyes upon yonder heads hung up. All their owners have lost their lives in this same venture." Yet Kamar Zaman paid no heed to them, but cried out at the top of his voice, saying, "I am the doctor, the scrivener, I am the astrologer, the calculator." And all the townsfolk forbade him from this, but he regarded them not at all, saying in his mind, "None knoweth desire, save whoso suffereth it." Then he began again to cry his loudest, shouting, "I am the scrivener, I am the astrologer." And Shahrazad perceived the dawn of day and ceased to say her permitted say. I hope you enjoyed the story. Thanks a lot for the hearts. I hope you enjoyed the reading. I hope you had a beautiful day. And regardless of where you are in the world, have a great day, a wonderful afternoon, a wonderful night. As usual, remember to go inwards instead of outwards. And I shall see you on Thursday again. Tomorrow will be read by Joanna. Sorry. All right, have a great night, everyone. Much love. Thanks a lot. Bye.